I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Hey guys, and welcome to Wrestling Days. I've got a really kind of important figure review, or certainly important for me, because I don't have this guy in my collection. He unfortunately was let go not that long ago. He chose to go, in all fairness. I don't think he was satisfied with how he was being used. He has been Intercontinental Champion a few times. He's had quite a strong career, actually. He's still a great in-ring performer, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to go on and do. This is one of the older figures that I have in my collection, and just been, meaning to get around to reviewing it. I've not really had a chance to review it, but let me grab it. It's this one here. It is Series 34, Bad News Barrett. This was before he was King Barrett. So you're going back to 2014, really. He was King Barrett in 2015. This attire is from Raw in 2014, and he's from England, Preston, England. His finishing move was the bull hammer. And he had a really good career. He came into WWE as part of the first series of NXT. And for those of you that might not have seen it, the first series of NXT was a bit like a talent show. You had developmental talent paired up with main roster talent. I can't remember who Bad News was paired up with, but I do remember him winning Series 1. So he actually won the first series of NXT. NXT then became basically a wrestling show. It changed its format eventually. But it was still a talent show for, I think it was like 4 or 5 years. But yeah, he won the first series. In that series as well, you had the likes of Ryback, who was known as Skip Sheffield. You had, obviously, famously, Daniel Bryan. Straight after that, he forms the Nexus, or they form the Nexus, and he's kind of seen as the leader of that. They were very much like a bigger Shield, if you will. They really ran roughshod for a while. They kind of messed it up, though, as WWE likes to do. They messed it up. That whole angle could have been huge. Bad News did get title matches and had matches against the likes of John Cena, but really from that point you could tell that he was slipping more into the mid-card. He, after Nexus, formed a stable called The Core, which was just a few people from Nexus. I think it might have had people like Justin Gabriel in it, people like that. But and then after all of that, he started going out on his own. Really, the Bad News gimmick I thought was one of his strongest times. And then he got injured, and when he came back, he wasn't Bad News Barrett anymore. He wins the King of the Ring and becomes King Barrett and joins League of Nations, and I can understand why at that point he was like, it's time for me to step away. There just didn't seem to be any chance of him getting back to that main event title picture, which is really what he deserved. As you can see from this, I got it from Smith's, got it for $14.99, which isn't bad for an elite at all. Certainly not one that's an older one as well. And now that he's gone, just won't be able to get this. There's been a few good Barrett figures as well. There was one that I absolutely loved. Had a coat, and it had a rose in the coat. I thought that looked really classy, but I never saw that one on the shelves. This is the one that I saw. I like this one as well. The first impressions on this is the face scan seems a little bit off, but we'll get it open. We'll have a look at it. Other ones in this series: John Cena, Rusev, Page, Hulk Hogan, Doink the Clown. I would love that Doink the Clown. When I was young, I was a big Doink the Clown fan, so I need to get that in my collection. Accessory wise on this, you don't get many accessories. It's literally just the figure and the entrance cape, but that entrance cape looks pretty cool. I think the back isn't going to hold any surprises, but yeah, we'll get it open, we'll have a look. Image wise, you can see a laughing Bad News Barrett there, and then you've got smiley Bad News Barrett there, smiley Bad News Barrett there, and another smiley bad news Barrett there. So let's get this open and we'll have a look at the figure and see how it stands up. Okay, cool. So got the figure out of the packaging. I love the detail that's on it. The face scan isn't as strong as what I hoped. I think it's a really weak face scan actually. The head doesn't move up and down as well, or certainly not mine. I mean, that should not be happening really. I've never known a figure do that before. In all fairness, I don't know if I've ever tried to do that to a figure before. So yeah, there's bad news Barrett. But yeah, it doesn't really go up and down that well. The face scan on that I think is pretty weak as well. I'm not sure if you can quite pick it up, but it's not the greatest face scan in the world. So yeah, a little disappointing on that front. So far this figure for me is it's a 6. It's really not that great. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not bad. Like, it's not a disaster. It's not going to feature in any worst figures I've ever seen. Kind of pulled. What really saves it is I love the detail on the tattoo. This tattoo in particular I know is of a Manic Street Preachers, who are a big UK, they're a band from Wales, but I know that's got some lyrics on it from the Manic Street Preachers, and they seem to have captured that, you know, like all the detail on it. I know that he's got tattoo like that on that arm as well. I really like the bad news written on the back of the trunks. The rest of it is all just black. Articulation is kind of what you would expect. There's no great surprises. Just I don't think the face scan is that strong, and some of the articulation, like the head not really being able to move, it's just a little bit bizarre. So figure wise it's a 6. Accessory wise, I mean, that's quite a cool accessory. It's quite a decent sized accessory. There isn't any surprises on the back like what we thought. There's a few studs painted onto the shoulder bits. When you actually put it onto the character, onto the figure, that's how he looks, which, you know, is pretty cool. I suppose the annoying thing is you can't have him holding onto them. Doesn't work, look. Plus also that fist is closed, so it'd be better if, like, 'cause when he came out and he had this, he used to hold onto it and then throw it up, and then it would go up into the air and kind of cascade down behind him. Obviously there's no way of recreating that in like figure form, but still you'd think they'd find a way of getting it so you could pose him like that, but you can't. So you know, you have to pose him some other way. But it's a big accessory that you get with it. You know, that's cool. The fact that they've managed to make that for this figure. So yeah, that's what it looks like overall. I think it's an alright job. I mean, I'd give it a strong 7. I think the figure itself is about a 6. It's a bit harsh, but you know, I think the figure itself is about a 6. I think the accessory pushes it up to a strong, decent 7. But yeah, there's just a couple of things that are just annoying, like the fact you can't pose it, and the fact the head doesn't really move, and the fact the face scan isn't as strong. So have a look. You might find better. I mean, they've made some really good basics for King Barrett, or is it Bad News Barrett? I know they've just released some basics. So yeah, you might be able to find a better figure than this one. It's not the end of the world though if you've got it. I'm sure you still enjoy it, and I'll still enjoy having this in my collection. So he was a really good performer. I really will miss having him around. I was fortunate enough to be at Raw in London, I think 2015, and it was John Cena against doing his US Open challenges, and it was Bad News that came down and accepted that challenge for the US title, and it was a great match. Again, if you get a chance to go on Raw, jump back to that one. Really good US Open challenge match. When he had the chance, he could really work, so he will be greatly missed. Cool, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at WrestlingDaysUK. If If you haven't subscribed to the channel, it'd be brilliant if you did, because I've got loads more videos on the way, and I have no idea how to make him say goodbye without this cloak falling off, but I can certainly try. I will hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now. It's going alright. It's going alright. That'll do. Bye for now.